With our product measurements in hand, it's time to get to work with Illustrator. We'll begin by setting up an appropriately sized document using a document profile for professional printing. Then, we'll lay down our basic layer structure. So to start with, I'll go to the File menu and choose New. I'll go ahead and give this a name. And I want to choose the number of artboards. Since I'll be creating both a carton and a label, I'm going to choose 2 artboards. For the space in between them, I'm just going to increase that a little bit. And then the size. In my case, because of the measurements of the bottle, I want to make this a little bit larger, so I'm going to go with a tabloid size. For the orientation, I want it to be landscape. And for the unit of measure, I want to be sure to choose inches. Finally, here in the advanced section, I want to make sure that the color mode is set to CMYK and the raster effects are set to high, or 300 pixels per inch. With this in place, we'll go ahead and click OK. Alright, so now let's take a look at the layers. Of course, in Illustrator, when you create a new document, you get a single layer called Layer 1. So let's just rename that. I'm going to call this Artwork. Next, I'll add a new layer. And this layer I'm going to call Die Line. I'm going to go ahead and lock the Artwork layer because the work that we'll create will be on this Die Line layer to begin with. And finally, I want to take a look at my artboards. So I'm going to choose the Artboards tab here. Artboard 1 I'm going to use for my carton. So I think I'll just rename that one Carton. And for Artboard 2, that's going to be my label. Now let's go ahead and take a look at that label artboard. I'm going to double click this number here, and that should display the label artboard. This artboard is tabloid size, just like our carton artboard. And that might be a bit oversized for our label. So I'm just going to resize this one. To do so, I'm going to select the Artboard tool, and I'll choose one of the presets from here at the top. I think letter size will be fine for what we're going to attempt to do here. Once again, I'm going to make sure that it is in landscape mode. I'll choose the regular selection tool to exit out of the Artboard tool. And then I'm going to hold down the Command and Option, Control and Alt, and type a 0 to show both artboards on my window screen here. Well, now we have a document that is the right size, the right color mode, and has our basic layer structure in place. We're ready to begin with our package die line structure.